My God. The main event of Smackdown was garbage based on what we saw happen with Kofi Kingston, Brock Lesnar, with it being less than 30 seconds. Now, after the match, it was a little bit of a different story. You see, from all of our surprise, unless you paid attention to the dirt sheets, which I did not, Cain Velasquez shows up out of fucking nowhere. Now, if you're a person who's followed UFC in the past, knows who, at least knew who beat Brock Lesnar for the UFC Championship, you would know that Cain Velasquez was the man to do that. I'm going to go on record to say this. They need to have Cain Velasquez versus Brock Lesnar in a unscripted, full-fledged fight. A real fight. On a pay-per-view event. I mean, like seeing fucking Knuckles hitting face. With, wearing UFC gloves on the hands. That is what we need to see for Cain Velasquez and Brock Lesnar. A first ever unscripted fight in a wrestling ring. I think that would be fucking unbelievable. And I think a lot of people would be interested in seeing a fight between these two guys for real. Again. That's how I feel about it. This could bring a lot of buzz. This can bring a lot of legitimacy to professional wrestling, at least with this one match. I think it would be entertaining as hell to see these two guys fight in a type of UFC type style matchup. No rule, well, have rules of course, no chair shots, any of that garbage. But just a pure one-on-one MMA type fight between these two guys. That's what I think would happen, should happen, between these two guys. Now, going into the start of the show, The Rock kicking things off, and so forth. I didn't particularly like the beginning of this. This was kind of a pretty much beating verbally and physically to Baron Corbin. Not that I really care, but he's one of the younger talent on the roster. And you're taking that guy and beating him to hell. With Becky Lynch and The Rock. It was funny. It was very humorous. And not that I care for Baron Corbin, but I thought we're here to build bigger stars and make new names. And then apparently that's not the situation, at least here, with Baron Corbin, even though he's the King of the Ring winner. A lot of shit was thrown back and forth between these three. A lot of teaming up between Becky Lynch and The Rock with comments and just talking a lot of shit. And that's pretty much it. Rock came up with a new catchphrase called a super tough guy, or super tough dude, and abbreviating it, it's STD, and had all the fans cheering STD about Baron Corbin. Really nice. Great way of hyping up your King of the Ring winner. It shows Vince McMahon continues to not give a flying fuck about the King of the Ring. Why continue to have it if you're not going to hype it up and make it important? That's just how I feel. So we get Sasha Banks and Bayley facing Charlotte Flair and Becky Lynch. The match ends with a submission figure 8 to Bayley, and Bayley taps out. There's no wondering what match is going to be added to the card for Hell in a Cell. That's going to be Charlotte Flair facing Bayley for the WWE SmackDown Women's Championship, obviously. The matchup itself, you could take it or leave it. It wasn't bad. It wasn't great. I mean, it was worth your time, I guess. Sasha Banks ends up getting a bloody lip at the end of the match. She's sitting on the side of the outside the ring on the floor with blood pretty much all over her face by her lips. And apparently it must have been because Becky Lynch gave her a nice shot to the face. Which, yeah, pretty fucking weird on that one. We get Seth Rollins going one-on-one with Shinsuke Nakamura. This matchup wasn't all that big of a deal. I didn't even care for it. These two guys together, I don't particularly care for them very much. They did compete one-on-one last year at Survivor Series in 2018, and this matchup really didn't stand out to me at all when they did have it originally and had a legit match. So I didn't really care for this match so much. They do bring up about Hulk Hogan and Ric Flair's main event matchup that they're going to have at Crown Jewel, which pretty much might as well be Survivor Series at this point than being called Crown Jewel, to be honest with you. After this, we actually had a ladder match with Kevin Owens and Shane McMahon. I'm going to go over some of the things and the highlights of this matchup and what happened. I actually got a better website that will give me the information. I'll read it off to you guys as I see it. But bottom line, this matchup was very good. I really enjoyed this ladder match. It felt like a pay-per-view-esque kind of feel to it. So let me go into some of the action that happened here. Owens runs out of the ring, up the ramp, and attacks Shane McMahon at the stage. Owens brings it back into the ring and the bell rings. Owens sends Shane out to the ring and goes to work. Owens bridges a ladder from the apron to the top of the barrier. Owens rocks Shane a few more times on the outside. Owens brings another ladder into the ring. He positions it under the briefcase and starts climbing. Shane runs in and pulls him down. Then Shane with a side Russian leg sweep. Shane stomps on Owens and climbs the ladder as fans boo. Owens knocks him down. The ladder ends up knocked out of the ring, and they tangle some more, including a stunner blocked. Owens goes to bring the ladder back in, but Shane kicks it into his face. Shane ends up dropping Owens on the outside again and placing him on the announce table. This spot, generally, if you've seen Shane McMahon's match, it's the typical elbow drop from the top of the turnbuckle to the outside through the announce table. So it's one of those typical spots you usually see him in, which was still, at the end of the day, entertaining as hell to see anyway, being performed on a Smackdown episode on live television. So that was cool as shit. So he drops an elbow on the outside again, placing him on the announce table. Shane pounds on Owens while he's down on top of the announce table. Shane slams the top cover piece of the table onto Kevin Owens a few times, and then he climbs up to the top of the turnbuckle and hits the elbow drop through the announce table. Shane returns to the ring as fans boo him some more. As you can tell, very pro-Owens crowd here, so you definitely can tell based on the dialogue information I'm reading here to you guys. Shane climbs to the top turnbuckle and delivers a huge elbow drop, putting Owens through the table. They both land out in the debris, and the fans chant "Holy shit" as we go to commercial break. Back from the break, Owens now has Shane placed on the ladder bridge from the apron to the barrier from earlier. By the way, I want to mention here, you got a fucking ladder match. Probably could have been made as the main event instead of the WWE Championship matchup. And you're not going to do a split screen like you saw on NXT and fucking AEW's Dynamite episode. Both of these shows showed major matches where they freaking had split screens where you could watch the action as it goes on while it's on commercial break. Fucking, I think even WWE Raw did that on some of their matches during that 3-hour shit fest. And for them not to do that, I kind of want to vent about that a little bit. I think that was bullshit, to be honest with you. So let's go back to the action. Back from the break, Owens now has Shane placed on a ladder bridge from the apron to the barrier from earlier. Owen goes on top and leaps with a frog splash, putting Shane through the ladder, bending it. Fans chant "Holy shit" again, and this is awesome. Now as we get replays, Owen stands another ladder up under the briefcase now. There's also a ladder bridged from bottom rope to bottom rope in the corner. Owen climbs up, but Shane runs in and hits him in the leg with a steel chair to stop him from climbing. Shane knocks Owens and the ladder over with another chair shot. Then Shane unloads with a few more chair shots. Boy, these people really don't know how to write a fucking article and give you a legit fucking proper sentences. So then Shane hits Owens up against the bottom turnbuckle, then places a ladder over his body and climbs up to the opposite corner and delivers a coast to coast, smashing the ladder into Owens in the corner. Owens rolls to the floor and the referee checks on him. We get a replay as Shane works to get back to his feet, and Shane stands the ladder up under the briefcase again. Shane climbs, but Owens runs in to stop him, and Owens powerbombs Shane from halfway up the ladder onto the ladder bridge on the bottom rope in the corner, and Owens climbs up and retrieves the briefcase to end Shane's career and win the match. Ladies and gentlemen, I gotta say this is probably the best match on the show. I'm not gonna say this is the best match of the week. Definitely far from it. NXT, I think, with Matt Riddle and Adam Cole, stole the fucking show had the match of the week, to be honest with you. But this match was the match of the night. For Friday Night Smackdown, this was the best match at everything. It felt very kind of like one of those, like the King of the Ring with Stone Cold facing the McMahons with Shane and Vince in a ladder match. Only this time, this was more of a fair fight. It was just two guys going at it. Shane, you could definitely tell, based on the way this match was going, he was really not looking like he was going to win. Most of the match, he got his ass kicked, I have to say. I mean, he got a couple of good spots in here with the elbow drop off the top rope and through the announcer's table, and then that coast-to-coast move that he did. But other than that, I mean, Kevin Owens really dominated this match in rather great fashion. If I was to choose, if you exclude Cain Velasquez, if this was a one-time only thing, and this is not legitimate, like Cain Velasquez is going to be on WWE programming, and this was just a one and all thing, and that's it, I would be prone to seeing Kevin Owens be the guy to take the title off of Brock Lesnar. You could make Kevin Owens a legit guy as a tough person that could take the title off of Brock Lesnar. People are humongous fans of Kevin Owens. People enjoy his wrestling. He is exactly the way he needs to be as he was in Ring of Honor. He needs to be the blue-collar, hard worker, ass kicker, and that's all you need to do with him. And they're doing that exactly right here. If they continue what they left off with this, I know that this doesn't really mean much with Kevin Owens beating Shane McMahon because it wasn't all that big of a deal. It was an obvious given that Shane McMahon was supposed to lose. But with this, it means something in some way where we don't have to see Shane on television anymore, which I'm glad to hear. I mean, granted, I like Shane McMahon in some aspects, but the way they portrayed him this year, he just looked like an absolute asshole and just fucking dumb as shit. He looked very pushed, and it wasn't even genuine. It just seemed so retarded. And it didn't even seem like him at all. the way he was being portrayed. He plays a better face than a heel. I don't think he's great as a heel. I think he's better as a face, to be all honest with you guys. Then we had, oh brother. We had a backstage interview with Paul Heyman. Paul Heyman just pretty much did his normal spiel about Brock Lesnar being the guy to win the match, and it's a spoiler, not anything new to expect, in which case that was the case anyway. Braun Strowman, The Miz, and Heavy Machinery faced Dolph Ziggler, Robert Roode, AJ Styles, and Randy Orton. This matchup sucked. I don't even know why this match was on the card to begin with. You didn't even have hardly anybody in the match. The Miz didn't do much. Heavy Machinery didn't do a whole lot of anything. AJ Styles had a few things involved in it. Randy Orton wasn't even there, I don't think. I didn't even pay attention to this fucking match at all. Braun Strowman manages to win the match for his team. Power Slam Ziggler. And that's it. Now, what happens after the match, because there was a little altercations between Tyson Fury and Braun Strowman. Now, this seems a little like political bullshit propaganda garbage, where we're getting legitimate stars like Tyson Fury, Cain Velasquez, legit wrestler, legit boxers and MMA fighters, legit combat sport athletes that aren't involved in scripted storylines and so forth, that have legit fighting ability, are kind of altercating with other WWE superstars. I don't know if that's Fox's doing here or this is WWE or both, but it seems a little like, to me, like there's something's going on with Tyson Fury. Like, I should expect to see him at WrestleMania facing Braun Strowman later on down the road. Now, we did have something like that happen before, if you remember 2008 WrestleMania 24 with Floyd Mayweather and The Big Show. That was a little bit of a fucking joke, but easy money for Floyd Mayweather for $20 million. Not bad for a guy who didn't do much of anything but fuck around in the ring and hit Big Show with a freaking brass knucks to the face and breaking his jaw practically. So, I honestly did not care for this match whatsoever, but the little altercation with Tyson Fury I really enjoyed. I thought that was pretty awesome. Just to have Tyson Fury involved in something like this is very entertaining to see. I like the aspect they're trying to throw a little bit of realism with some of these athletes that are from other promotions, but at the end of the day, do they really fit with the WWE programming formula? I don't think so. I don't think they're going to come off as good as they would if they were just fighting for real. So, quite frankly, I don't care to see Braun Strowman face Tyson Fury. I don't think it's going to be worth anybody's while to watch. It's going to be like Rob Gronkowski going up against fucking, what's his name? The guy that was with Jinder Mahal and whatnot. I just don't care for it. I didn't think much of it, to be quite frank with you. Then we had a lumberjack match with Eric Rowan and Roman Reigns. This match could have been cut so much short. To be honest with you, I don't even think they should have cut it short. They should have just gotten rid of that fucking Braun Strowman 8-man tag team matchup, and that would have been good enough for me, and have Eric Rowan and Roman Reigns have about like a 10 to 15 minute match, leaving the matchup between Brock Lesnar and Kofi Kingston to be a little bit longer than just fucking less than 30 seconds. My God. How the fuck can you do that to Kofi Kingston, to be quite frank with you? I don't understand that. Let me just go into a little bit of the action that happened here with Eric Rowan and Roman Reigns in a lumberjack match. So, Rowan with a big running knee to Reigns, sending him to the outside. Some lumberjacks work Reigns over before sending him back into the ring. Rowan's gets sent out of the ring, and he starts fighting lumberjacks off. Reigns goes out and runs through the lumberjacks and leaps at Rowan with a Superman punch, but it's blocked and Reigns is launched into the barrier. Rowan returns to the ring to wait on Reigns. Lumberjacks attack Reigns and others come to make the save. They toss Reigns back in and Rowan immediately drops with a big kick. Rowan covers for a 2 count and we go back to commercial. Again, this is one of your top bill matches on your card. Why wouldn't you do a double screen on this one? I mean, granted, yes, it's a lumberjack match. Yes, we're going to see Roman Reigns and Daniel Bryan face Eric Rowan and Luke Harper in a tag team match in a pay-per-view. So, granted, who really gives a shit? But, truthfully, this is some kind of build that we're going to get leading into Hell in a Cell. This is their go-home show situation here, and you're not going to give us a split screen for this at least? The whole thing about that I did not like. If you can do that with NXT and AEW, you sure as hell can do that for this piece of shit fucking show that WWE main roster has. But apparently they don't seem to believe in that. So back from break, Rowan has Reigns grounded in the middle of the ring. Reigns fights him up and out. They trade big shots. Reigns takes it to the corner and unloads with clotheslines as fans count along. More back and forth. Reigns catches Rowan in a Samoan drop for a 2 count in the middle of the ring. They go on and Reigns readies for a Superman punch, but Rowan catches him in mid-move. They trade more shots and counters. Reigns drops Rowan with a Superman punch. Luke Harper comes walking down to the ramp now. As Harper does come down to the ramp, we see Daniel Bryan get off commentary. He was doing that during the match. He was actually commenting on the matchup as it was going on. But he was there more to make sure Luke Harper doesn't interfere in the match. So Luke Harper interferes. Daniel Bryan gets over there and he starts attacking him. And then we just have a complete breakout of chaos. And Rowan goes ahead and goes outside to protect Luke Harper. And then Roman Reigns, out of fucking nowhere, leaps up in the air like Undertaker would do outside the ring and land on everybody, including the Lumberjacks. We get back into the ring as Rowan and Reigns are going back and forth, and then finally we get the claw to the skull by Rowan, and Daniel Bryan comes in there to stop him. After that, he puts the Iron Claw on Daniel Bryan, and Roman Reigns hits the fucking spear out of nowhere and gets the 1-2-3. There was also a Superman punch delivered during the matchup. I think Reigns blocks the Iron Claw, nails a Superman punch. Harper hits in the ring, drops Reigns, and Harper stops the Lumberjacks from entering the ring. Bryan runs in and drops Harper with a running knee out of nowhere, and Reigns takes advantage and hits Rowan with a spear for the pin for the win, and that's how the match ends. So that's pretty much the whole situation on that, and they shake hands, and that was pretty much all. So after the match, I already did all that. Really all that was left was the WWE Championship matchup. WWE Championship matchup was real simple. They come to the ring, they do the introductions. Kofi leaps up in the air, tries to attack Brock Lesnar, and Brock Lesnar hits an F5 and gets the 1-2-3 immediately afterwards. That's it. That was the match. And then Cain Velasquez comes down after Rey Mysterio introduces him, pretty much, and we get a back and forth confrontation. Cain Velasquez tackles Brock Lesnar to the ground and starts hitting some punches on the side of the head of Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar, I think, did block those punches from hitting him. And Lesnar, for the first time in his career, looked very concerned. He did not look like the confident and tough guy Lesnar that he normally is. So, this is a great opportunity to bring about a great match between two big names in UFC. And the best way to do it is actually have a legit match. A legit fight. Not a WWE wrestling matchup, but an actual fight where they put on UFC type fighting gloves. They get in the middle of that ring and they kick each other's ass, MMA style. This would be a fucking awesome opportunity, as I already mentioned earlier in this review. And I honestly feel that that would be the best thing for them to go with. I don't think Cain Velasquez with Brock Lesnar in some WWE wrestling archaic bullshit wrestling match between these two guys would be the best way to do things. You want to put asses in the seats. You want to see a fucking sellout crowd. You want to see an actual matchup that will sell even to the audience to sit at home and watch. Give them a real fight between these two guys. They're trained professionals in MMA. Let them do their thing in the middle of your WWE ring and give the audience something to talk about for a long time coming. I mean, for years to come, give them something to talk about, and that would be the thing. Give them a real fucking fight with MMA gloves on and them going in that ring and kicking each other's ass. Anyway, guys, leave your comments and opinions down below. Let me know what you guys think about my idea on Cain Velasquez and Brock Lesnar. Hit the like button if you liked the video, and hit the subscribe button if you're not already subscribed to the channel. And I thank you very much for watching, and I hope you have a great night, guys. Bye.